Few mornings have certainly been on the cooler side, but for tomorrow morning, you could actually say it will be chilly. Our lows will be in the upper 50s and some spots could be record-breaking. I will have more details on that, plus a look at our big warm-up coming next week.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, local homeless shelters are seeing a surge in children. Details on why the change is happening. Also ahead, national security in the digital age. How the Cyber Center is preparing for the wars of tomorrow. And keeping astronauts healthy in outer space. How a researcher at MCG wants to prevent injuries on space flights. And your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins as August means back to school season, but for some children in the area, going back to school looks different. Isabel Moody has more.
The Salvation Army's Center of Hope wants the community to know the face of homelessness has changed from what it once was. Once dominated by men, local shelter leaders say mothers and children now are some of the most common residents.
Children staying here in their school age, we would then communicate through caseworkers that we have here. We would communicate with the Richmond County schools, and they would then work out being able to be picked up here. We also have tutoring that happens here, so there's a number of different things in order to support those who are going to school from the Center of Hope.
Richmond County Schools also has a designated school bus, which comes and picks up the children staying there to their appropriate schools. Because of the federal McKinney-Vento Act, the school system provides transportation so children are able to stay in the same school they were in, along with providing tutoring services if needed after school.
Continually, the Ministry of Dignity and being able to provide that dignity of a new backpack to go to school, as well as the real practical of you need to be going to school, but the other side of that is you need to be doing that so that maybe your mom or dad or both will be able to go and maybe get employment or go with different appointments in order to do some of their casework so that they aren't staying at our Center of Hope very long.
A longtime volunteer and previous client with the Salvation Army enjoys being able to help families during this time.
To me, it's a blessing because when my kids was growing up, and I'm 72, so you kind of do the kids. Okay. I didn't have this, so I feel like that's a blessing.
Shelter leaders say being able to support these families and kids has helped many change the future for themselves with the help from the Center of Hope.
Now got a full ride scholarship to a university up in Chicago, and so he came through several years ago, but this is one of our success stories. We continue to see those kind of things.
If you want to help donate or volunteer at the shelter, you can find that on WJBF.com. Back to you.
Time now for a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Jenna Petracci. And can we have another, please? This morning was awesome.
Yes, it's going to get even better. Unless you don't like the cooler weather, this may actually be a little too cool for you. As I mentioned, we will see some places dip down into the upper 50s. Right now, though, you can see those temperatures from this morning were in the low 60s. The coolest we got was up in McCormick at 60 exactly. Aiken Regional Airport and Augusta Busch Field went down to 61 degrees. Our average low for this time of the year is 71, and our record was 57, set back in 1998. And it's possible that we could either tie, maybe even break our record for tomorrow. We'll get into that in a moment. Our high today was 86, also well below normal. Record high was 107, set back in 1983, nowhere near it. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam looking nice this evening at Augusta Regional Airport. Winds are much calmer than they were earlier. We're already down to 64 degrees in Augusta, 68 in Thompson, Aiken at 66, Sylvania, you're at 69, low 70s still in Wrightsville and Crawfordville. Dew points are on the low side, upper 50s to around 60. And as for satellite and radar, a little bit of cloud cover from Bamberg County down to Screven County. Other than that, we are clear. Showers off the coast and down into parts of Florida and the Gulf Coast, all along this trough of low pressure. We have high pressure overhead, though. That's been bringing in this northeast wind. Right now, the winds are under 5 miles per hour for the most part, a little bit higher here in Sparta at 8 miles per hour. But with the calm winds, that really allows those temperatures to fall, and that's what we'll be seeing tonight. tonight, down to 58 by the 7 o'clock hour. And as I mentioned, temperatures could be reaching our record lowest low, 58, set back all the way in 1930. So be sure to join John Lynn tomorrow morning to see if we tie that record or maybe even beat it. And coming up, I'll have a look at that full 10-day forecast. But back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you then. Doctors at the Medical College of Georgia are working with a private human mission to space next week. Dr. Matthew Lyon wants to learn more about space flight-associated neuroocular syndrome, or SANS. That impacts more than 70% of astronauts and causes what doctors think is a rise and shift in cerebral spinal fluid, which can lead to structural changes in the brain and pressure against the optic nerve and retina. That can cause changes in vision.
I've been working on traumatic brain injury or concussions and using ultrasound to make a diagnosis and tell if you're susceptible, or if you had a sports injury and it caused that. And I was reading an article about how astronauts have loss of vision when they have prolonged space flight, and that's a problem if you want to go to Mars or if you want to stay at a moon base. And so I started thinking about the mechanisms of concussion and this loss of vision.
That mission is expected to go up Tuesday around 3 a.m. We'll have a closer look into Dr. Lyon's project as we move forward. Preserving national security in the new age, that was the focus of a conference today at Augusta University. Hannah Latier was there.
You guys are all the future of the Army.
The conference was mainly for captains at the U.S. Army Cyber Center of Excellence. Researchers at the university presented findings to them on informational warfare, propaganda operations, and AI.
The most interesting thing I've learned is just kind of the survey of how Russia, China, and the United States have been using artificial intelligence in various different ways. It's interesting to see how our adversaries think about these things versus how we think about them.
Researchers say foreign adversaries use this technology to target people on social media and create division.
We're looking at how strategic adversaries, Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda, how they try to influence U.S. citizens' decision-making processes in their brain. And the way they do that is by pushing out propaganda, pushing out influence operations on social media.
Captains were somewhat surprised to hear the impact these kind of messages have on the brain.
Disinformation being used against us, but then also how to deliver a message effectively and thinking about, your brain as a chemical apparatus, how that works in relation to, traditional messaging. I think that's really fascinating and is not something that we thought about originally when we came to this conference today.
Events like this help the academic and armed forces sectors work closer together to keep citizens safe from outside influences.
So it's really like a collaborative effort for how the United States military can integrate academic literature and theory and our expertise from a non-DoD side into their DoD procedures, policies, and how they operate.
In Augusta, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, tonight was the 4th annual summit for the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. The event highlighted local businesses as well as hosted Gabby Goodwin of Gabby's Bows as the keynote speaker. And they had representatives from local businesses and government on a panel to speak about the growing opportunities for business in the Augusta area.
The Chamber was established in 2017. Over the last 7 years, we have been carrying out our mission of being the conduit between business community and government. We've given out $472,000 in grants. We have 2 loan programs running, trained over 1,500 business owners in the Central Savannah River area. So we're all about getting things here in Augusta, Georgia.
The Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce has provided support and opportunity for Black and minority business owners in the CSRA, as she mentioned, since 2017. Well, behind-the-scenes efforts are underway to resolve Augusta Mayor Garnett Johnson's credit card controversy. The mayor is looking to be Bamberg County is dealing with more mosquitoes. How the county is handling the situation when coverage you can count on continues.
And it's been 75 days since we've had a morning below the 60-degree mark, and that's what will happen tomorrow. But as I mentioned, we will be heating up next week, and of course, the humidity is coming back as well. Stay with us for your full forecast right after the break.
Some exciting news. Now, your most accurate forecast. Sportscast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the lovely weather we had today. It's a really nice night as well. Here's a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station. Nice and clear, completely dry, sitting at 64 degrees. Dew points in the upper 50s. Winds are calm. We're seeing mid to upper 60s. A few places still hanging on to that 70-degree mark, such as Sandersville down to Swainsboro, 68 in Lincolnton, 68 in Waynesboro. Barnwell, you're also at 68, 65 at Aiken, and 65 in Saluda. So pretty consistent temperatures for us. Some clouds in our southeastern counties. The rest of us nice and clear. No rain at all here in the two-state. As we zoom out here, you can see high pressure overhead. That's keeping us dry and also bringing in the cooler air. So tomorrow's low is 58. Tomorrow's high is only 84, and this resembles early October temperatures. This is what we call a false fall. We have it all the time here in the southeast, and this is just the beginning of it. I'm sure as we go into September and maybe even October, it could still be feeling like summertime. Of course, it usually takes a while for us to fully have those fall temperatures for good, but enjoy it for now, especially if you're headed to the game tomorrow night. It's going to be perfect football weather, starting out in the upper 70s, climbing or going down to 75 at halftime, and then low 70s by the end of the game. And on top of that, the humidity will be much lower, so overall feeling pretty comfortable. Low temperatures will be back on the rise, though, eventually to around average this time next week. And with that also comes the hotter high temperatures. Mid-90s expected all the way across the southeast for the last couple of days of August and through September 1st. Rain chances are not very high really over the next 10 days to come. And of course, with the hotter temperatures, we'll want some rain to help cool us down. And since it's been pretty dry lately, this could cause some issues with us entering the first or second phase of drought again. Notice we've had under 3 inches of rain in Augusta Bush Field for the month of August, when on average we end the month with around 4.5. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to our far southern counties such as Screven that had over a foot of rain from Tropical Storm Debbie. So we'll keep you updated with that drought monitor when it comes out next week. Futurecast tomorrow morning showing that northeast wind coming in, clouds staying to our southeast, showers not impacting us whatsoever. Really just more of the same for your Saturday as well. Saturday afternoon looking great, and all the way through Sunday, same thing again. No rain for Georgia or South Carolina. Lows tonight will vary anywhere from around 54 in Saluda down to 62 in Swainsboro. Everyone else in between. Highs tomorrow will be pretty consistent, around 83 to 86 degrees. A nice, mostly sunny day, and that sunshine continues all the way into next week. Starting out the week, very nice, near average temperatures, but then heating up and becoming more humid Wednesday all the way into the weekend. Few showers and storms next weekend. Now back to you, Dee.
Bamberg County issued a mosquito alert because of flooding from Tropical Storm Debbie. County leaders are urging homeowners to trim overgrown bushes, clean their yards, and remove buckets, tires, or anything that can hold water. Work crews are also spraying and treating standing water, but it's a waiting game to help other parts of the county. Bamberg County issuing a mosquito alert because of flooding from Tropical Storm Debbie. Also ahead, it was the final night of the Democratic ABC News, Chicago.
Transmark USA's Labor Day sale is going on now. This LG 70-inch 4K WebOS Smart TV is only $429.99. This 2-piece sectional with Jace is $899.99. Going on now at Transmark USA, located in Augusta Exchange. Get it! Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
High school football is back in the CSRA, and for a few teams, they are already 2 games in as they took on big rivals in Thursday night matchups. Starting with the Augusta Christian football team, they took on John Millage Academy on Thursday as they look for their first win of the 2024 season. Second quarter, no score, first and goal for John Millage. Pass to the end zone is complete, and the Trojans would get on the board first, 6-0. Lions looking to respond. Second and 10, John Williamson scrambles and finds his man on the outside. He'll take it all the way to the house, turning on the Jets. That one's just under 90 yards as AC ties the game at 6. Just before halftime, JMA would score again and take a 13-6 lead into the half. Ultimately, the Trojans would go on to get the win as Augusta Christian falls in week 2, 32-19. The Barnwell Warhorses opened their season on Thursday as well, taking on Blackville Hilda. In the second quarter, quarterback Cameron Austin passes on third down. It's broken up by Darius Jenkins. That forces a Barnwell field goal. Kicker Lane Evans is good on a 41-yarder. He's been a consistent weapon for Barnwell, and he gets the Warhorses on the board 3-0. On their next possession, Barnwell goes deep. Cameron Austin finds Jaquan Peoples down at the 2-yard line. That'll set up the Barnwell offense very nicely for Cameron Austin. He will power it in from the 2-yard line. It's a touchdown. The point after is good, and Barnwell takes a 10-0 lead into the half. Second half will be more of the same. Barnwell opens their season with a big win on the road, 24-7. Week 2 of Game Night Live is almost here, and it'll be another matchup of two powerhouse schools as North Augusta takes on Thompson in the Brickyard on Friday. Now, these two teams have not played each other since 2019, where the Bulldogs got a shutout win, but a lot has changed in 5 years, including a new head coach at North Augusta. This game will actually be the season opener for the Yellow Jackets, and both Coach Bush and Coach Youngblood spoke about what their ball clubs will each need to do to get the win and how much they're looking forward to another matchup.
Well, the biggest thing is our offensive line and defensive line is going to have to carry us. We're going to have to make sure that we do a good job of taking care of those guys, and we're going to have to run the football. You know, Trey is a 1,000-yard back for the last 2 years, and he's going to get his fair share of touches. And then we just got to find some role players to go with him on the outside to give us a chance to move the ball. And then defensively, we got to find ways to get stops.
You know, opening up in the Brickyard is going to be tough. Coach Youngblood's done a great job of that program. Going over there at the opening season, it's going to be tough. You know, it's a game that our guys are looking forward to. They've got it marked on their calendar. They know what they're going up against. They know the competition is going to be, and you know, we expect a great game.
Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. on Friday. You can catch our coverage with AB and John Hart over on MeTV. Over in the MLB, the Atlanta Braves look to get back in the win column and take the series as they face the Phillies in Game 3. Bottom of the second, 2 on for Gio Urshela. He sends it to deep left field, and an RBI double from the new guy ties the game at 1. Then in the third, 1 on for Matt Olson. Castellano is back at the track, but he can't quite get there. Atlanta takes the lead 2-1. Former Augusta Green Jacket Spencer Schwellenbach got the start on the mound for Atlanta, striking out 9 through 6 innings of work. And then in the 6th, Braves still up 2-1. Nobody on for Adam Duvall. That one's Duvall the way out of here, and Atlanta extends their lead 3-1. The Braves take Game 3 3-2 and earn their third consecutive series win. Next up is a visit from the Nationals. That will start on Friday. Finally, it is time to vote for our Football Friday Night Player of the Week. This week's nominees are Lakeside's Ty Jones, Burke County's Amir Williams, Cross Creek's Cam Nixon, and Harlem's Giovanni Arroyo. The poll is on WJBF.com. You can vote once a day until Friday night at 11 p.m., and the winner will be announced during our FFN show. So be sure to get your vote in as we pick our Football Friday Night Player of the Week. That does it for sports.
According to a report in Deadline, Chick-fil-A has been working with major production companies and some studios to create family-friendly shows for its own streaming service. Chick-fil-A's in talks to acquire content from other companies. One family-friendly game show is in the works, as well as a 10-episode scripted series. Chick-fil-A has made some content for its website before, but nothing as ambitious as this sounds. The project could launch as soon as this year. Way to go, Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, with how successful they are with their food, I'm sure that would be successful as well.
Yeah.
Our 10-day forecast showing plenty of sunshine Friday into next week. Cooler temperatures for now, heating up next week.
That's our report for now. Thanks for staying up late with us. Be sure to wake up with Mary, Barkley, and John at 4:30.